What's good, everybody? Welcome to week 2 of the PrepZone football preview. I'm Jack Patterson. That's David Mitchell from the Ledger Inquirer. That's sports director Dayne Young. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Jack?
Doing all right. A lot of parity last week. We saw some teams that we didn't think were gonna, compete in some of these games, and I think our biggest one would be Spencer, keeping it close with Carver for 3 quarters.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of a surprise to some of us, I guess. I was surprised. We talked last week and kind of said Carver, normal team, but a lot of people in the press box were talking big about Spencer and how they had a shot. So
should I tell everyone what you texted me at halftime of that game? Do you remember what you texted me?
I don't. Refresh me.
It simply said, "Carver's not good."
Yeah,
they didn't look good, and that's what you meant by that. They were a good team, but they did not look good.
They were not playing. But give a lot of credit to Spencer. Credit where credit's due. I mean, they played a heck of a first half, but Carver needs to start faster. I mean, they're going to get in a game, maybe their next one against Creekside.
They better get it together against Creekside.
You can't start slow anymore. But they're also they finished strong. So they just need to put a whole game together.
I threw you guys a curveball. We were actually supposed to start with Central and Auburn, so let's go.
Okay, we reset. And while we reset, I feel like I'm looking up at you guys. I'm raising my chair. There we go.
Do we just want to reset and
Are we
start?
going to reset the entire show?
No, we're not. Keep going, Jack. 3, 2. Jack?
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to week 2 of the press.
All right.
Anyway.
Are you actually restarting the show? You can include this.
You said reset.
I said I'm raising my chair.
Anyway, Central Auburn, our big game of the week. Central coming off of a blowout win over Harris County last week, and Auburn heartbreaking loss to Opelika at the last second. 2 very tough teams, and last year this was the game that decided the region last year.
I think Central showed me something last week. I know Harris County. We didn't really know what they had coming in. They lost a bunch from last year's team, but still, what I saw, or I wasn't at the game, but what it sounded like from Central, what we got from Central is a little bit of an answer on offense. Still not perfect, but there were a couple of guys who could make some plays. Quan Weaver showed that he could make some plays under center. Justin Glenn, for a guy who hasn't, been in the system the whole time since middle school, I think he did well enough, and I think he's growing, and I think Central now has something to build off of. The defense, again, is fantastic, and they're going to be fantastic, but I think we finally started to see what this offense might be able to do.
I think what's interesting about this game is Auburn. I was at Auburn and Opelika, and Jamie DuBose told me this on Wednesday as well. Auburn's offensive line is probably the biggest offensive line that Central will face this year, and that's even going deep in the playoffs as well. Auburn ran the ball very effectively on Opelika, and Opelika's front 7, they're not slouches. Opelika will compete with Central when they play. And so this is going to be Auburn's strength versus Central's strength. Who can win?
Yeah.
If it comes down to a quarterback battle, side with Auburn, because Bradley Northcutt played really well against Opelika. And in fact, Opelika coaches afterwards were like, thank goodness we don't have to play this kid anymore, because he's a senior and they're 7'8", 6'8", so they're done with Bradley Northcutt. Opelika is, and they're grateful for it. He can make plays. They're still a little bit of a wild card. We just don't know exactly what Auburn is or what they're going to be, because they've only got 2 games under Adam Weingarten. You never know how that's going to turn out. But offensive line of Auburn versus defensive line of Central, whoever wins that game.
Yeah, and what I think I kind of saw from Central just in following the game on Twitter and on the radio and that kind of stuff, it sounded like Central started a little slowly on offense again last week, but then once it started to have some success, kind of a little exponential growth. You could kind of start to see these players have a little bit of confidence, start to execute some plays, and sometimes that's all it takes is just seeing a little bit of success, and
that's gonna be
it's gonna
that's gonna be the big thing
over.
for Central this year, especially with Zionwell being out for the year, is developing that confidence and that chemistry with the offense, because we already know that defense is probably one of the best in the state, probably one of the best in the Southeast. But it's going to be the offense is key for Central. How good can that offense get, say, a couple weeks when we play Prattville, a couple weeks when they go down to Enterprise?
Yeah.
Well, and this isn't a warm-up anymore.
No, this is not.
They haven't had a warm-up yet, let's be honest.
Well, even if they have a difficult game, those games are still warm-ups because they don't count.
But let's be honest, there's no warming up in the bullpen here. I mean, Central came out with Stockbridge, who's no slouch.
Sure.
Harris County, which they're having a down year, but that was a thriller last year between Harris County and Central. Then you're playing Auburn with the game that decided the region last year. So I mean, Central didn't.
Which let's remember, Central handled that game relatively easily against Auburn. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Trey Samuel was running everywhere. Still is somewhere.
But let's also
Auburn on Saturday.
Against the other Auburn.
Bigger Auburn.
But let's also keep in mind that Auburn High was not itself, I guess, the first
half of the season.
75% of the season.
Right.
Well, if you want confidence in Central, look at my boy Rontrell Turner.
My God, how?
I love this
Did
kid.
you see that hit?
I saw the hit. I interviewed him on Wednesday as well.
Shameless plug.
WRBL.com. Rontrell Turner.
Get down, man. You're tearing up the set.
I am. There goes the set. Rontrell got me confident as well. Put the lower third when I did that, Jack.
I guess I'll put the lower third on there.
Rontrell's great. And he is really what that Central defense embodies. Is that confidence that you want. We talked about, we use swag a lot, Diallo Burks. We use that a lot.
That's
but
later in the show.
Central's got it. Central has got what they need on defense. They're developing what they need on offense. If they do it fast enough, they can win state.
Yeah, sure. Just have to do it fast enough.
Exactly, especially in that region.
And a stumble against Auburn really sets them back in terms of the region standings.
Sure.
This is an early step forward to where you want to go.
There's a lot
let's just keep it real. Last year, Auburn lost this game. Then they turned it on late in the season. But that difference between number 1 and number 2, Auburn was out in the first round of the playoffs last year.
I mean, this is the difference in maybe playing at Garrett Harrison. And Central's better there.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's going to be one of the biggest games, not only of this week, but probably of the season. We'll go to our Friday night tailgate game of the week this week. It's a non-region contest in Georgia. The Columbus Blue Devils, coming off of a win, going against Brookstone, who had a heartbreaking loss against Mount Pisgah a couple weeks ago. And Brookstone's rebuilding. Columbus has that talented running back at St. Bassie. Columbus is looking good, but we don't really know a lot about Brookstone yet.
Yeah, we were just talking Sang Bassie before we came on the air here, and
shout out to Sang. We like you.
We're talking about you, bro.
Wake Forest, let's go. ACC.
He had his first game against Jordan to start the season was fantastic. I mean, all over the field, return game. As a wide receiver, as a defender, I mean, he does it all. And when you have a player like that, that's going to make a huge difference. For Columbus, who, let's be honest, they're still trying to build. They're still trying to find a complete team. But Sang Bassie is a guy who they can go to, they can trust, and he's going to make plays for them all over the field.
I remember, too, preseason Phil Marino saying we have 7 or 8 guys that can run the ball. Sang being one of them, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Having that versatility where you don't have to rely on a Sang the whole time and you can have a fresh runner in there behind an experienced offensive line, that's going to be the key to their success. And that was the key to their success in holding on against Jordan in the second half when they didn't play as well. They jumped out to a lead and then they had to hold on.
Right.
And a lot of that was just managing the clock, which that allowed them to do so with their running backs. I think Columbus is a good team. I don't know if we know how good they can be. Brookstone would be, I think, a very valid test for them.
Yeah.
I think Columbus wins the game, but I could easily see Brookstone finding a way to win it too.
Well, and Brookstone, they're going to be successful at what they do, which is, I was out there this week. They're not going to break huge plays all the time like Sang Bassie might, but they're going to churn out 3, 4, 5 yards at a time. And if they can be successful at that, then that can keep a guy like Sang Bassie off the field. But they have to be successful. They can't let him, get his opportunities in the punt game and the kick return game, and they can't let him single-handedly beat them like he did against Jordan.
And I think it's a shout out to Phil Marino too and the coaches at Columbus High. A lot of times when you have a player of that magnitude, you try not to let them be the focus. That it is a whole team. It's not just one guy. But when you have a guy like a St. Bassett, he needs to touch the ball as much as he can.
Yeah. And
it's just like not overthinking the situation.
Yeah.
Which a lot of coaches do, and they fail at that.
Yeah.
If you've got the guy, let the guy be the guy.
Yeah. I think Columbus has a good chance to win this game. I think they have a good chance to have some success this year.
A 2-0 start would be really good.
Would be really strong. Remember, I mean, they started out, I believe, 2-0 last year as well, and didn't finish very well. But now I think they know what they have. I think they know how to be successful, and it's just a matter of going out and executing. And look, they made some mistakes last week. There were penalties, there were some turnovers, but if they can cut down on that, I think they look like a solid football team.
And a couple things. Number one, Brookstone. You talk about the ground and pound. We can't talk about the ground and pound without talking about Santa Dim, who their senior running back, and he's been phenomenal when healthy.
Yeah. And
he's still not 100% yet.
That's the key. I mean, he missed some time with some cramps last week. Last year when he, like you said, when he was healthy.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal running back.
He's a great running back, and he rushed 10 times for 67 yards last week. Could have been a lot more if he played more in the second half, but Brookstone's a different offense when they've got him back there. So,
if I may steal you a transition game, if we're going to talk about winning streaks, Columbus, there is a new team in Columbus that is trying to develop a winning streak.
Tell us about it.
I would think that would be the Golden Hawks of Hardaway.
Hardaway, everybody.
Nice.
Hey, I'm not being sarcastic. Congratulations on that win. That's a big barrier to cross.
Yeah. That was a good segue, Dayne.
And don't you have a little saying about Hardaway that you'd like to share with the folks?
If I may.
Please.
You can do it this way, or you can do it that way, but you're going to do it the hard way.
Exactly.
Oh, that's bad.
If that ends up in the Ledger Enquirer, I want money.
You couldn't pay me enough to put that into my story.
I was wanting money. I wasn't wanting to give you money.
No. Yeah, let's tell us about Hardaway here.
Huge win for Hardaway last week. Hadn't won a game since 2013, so the big boost for that program.
Yeah.
And especially with the toughest region as Hardaway plays in with, the Shaw, Carvers, LaGrange, Harris counties. They're going to be pacing up with that region schedule. It's good to, get over that hump early in the season and, give yourself some confidence going into that tough 1-5A season.
Yeah, I thought, look, it was, you never pick sides in a game, and I certainly did not pick sides Hardaway or Chattahoochee County in that game, but I had a lot of fun watching those guys pull out that win because it came the hard way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You lied. You did it.
But it's not in the Ledger Enquirer.
Yeah, there you go.
It will be online.
This
whole video goes there.
They fumbled the ball 5 times. They fumbled it at the end with a chance to run out the clock. They gave it back to Chattahoochee County in Hardaway territory, and still the defense found it. And sometimes when you haven't won a game in 19 games and 20 games, you have to win a game like that. And that says a lot about those guys, the coaching staff, Jeff Battles, all the players on that team, that those guys were able to stay calm and just say, we got this, and go out and get a win. And I was really happy for them that they were able to, because that does a lot for a program.
Yeah, the biggest thing they showed me, that they still want it. Because it's really easy. And I've been on teams that have been, winless. I've been on teams that got shut out the entire season.
When you go that long, they see the kind of work that they're putting in practice. They know how hard they work.
Yeah.
And when you do that and you go out on Fridays and you get your face kicked in, for a full season, it can be very, very difficult to keep going out and, what do they say about the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over
the same result.
Right.
Yeah.
But they kept plugging away, kept banging their head against the wall, and they get that win, and it's going to do wonders for that team this year. I think they're, I think they're going to at least win a few games this year, and you never know. That region's wide open.
And we said it. That region's wide open.
You never
don't know what can happen in 1-5A this year.
They could, because that defense is very good. That running game is very good, and freshman quarterback has surprised. He's done pretty well, Dominic Ford, so far.
But who else is in that region?
I think you're aiming for the LaGrange Cranes.
Oh, boy. We got another segue here, man. We're just all over the segues
The
today.
Kings of Troop County. I know you don't get to cover them as much.
Right.
Jack, you were there, up there to see Troop and LaGrange.
I'm gonna steal your tweet. LaGrange's offense is LaPerry Perry, and it works.
And his offensive line. One of his linemen tweeted at me, and I apologize for not responding to you, but he was like, yeah, there's a line that blocks for him. And you're right. That's how football works.
Football works.
But LaPerrian throws it, LaPerrian runs it, and they have a lot of faith in him. I am close to saying I think LaGrange is going to win that region over Carver. I'm not completely there because they have only played
Let us know when you get there.
Callaway and Troop. I will send you a pigeon with a note, and it will just have Diallo-Berg swag on it.
All right.
I don't know what that looks like.
Here we go again.
Other than just, a big old smile. Now, Diallo's cool, and that whole team is really good. And replacing Mon Denson and running back, what they had to do last year with a new playmaker, LaPerrian was there. LaPerrian has a bigger role in that offense this year. LaGrange is good. I think Callaway was a good team, don't have as much depth. I think Troop is developing after having
Three
head
coaches in
about 3
office.
months.
Exactly.
They'll get there. But owning your county like that builds
Says
so
a
much
ton.
confidence as you head into region play as that begins. LaGrange has a chance to be special. I'm not sure if they're there yet. I don't know if they would know. But you can't ask for any more than what we've seen.
And a player that we haven't talked about that I have to give credit for because he was very impressive on Friday night as well, Kamani Barnes, excuse me.
Running
He
back.
was very impressive on Friday night, busting through holes, that offensive line, like you said, doing a lot of work for him. And basically when he's had the opportunity, when LaGrange has turned to him, he's delivered as far as I saw on Friday night.
I think Carver-LaGrange is going to be one of those must-see games.
I think that'll be a great game. And you say LaGrange is rising in your mind. I still, despite the slow start for Carver, I still don't think a team is quite on their level yet.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, if they play slow for 3 quarters against LaGrange, that will be the day it catches up with them.
Sure. I mean, like we said earlier, you can't play slow for a half against good football teams and
I
expect
don't think
to
you
win
can
the
do
game.
that against most teams in that region.
But at the end of the day, Carver's defense has played well.
Yeah.
And I still I would put my trust in Jawan Pass at this point.
As you should.
To
Yeah.
make the plays at the end of the game that you need to. But
He's pretty good at football.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Louisville. That's where he's going. My brother-in-law is going to kill me. He's a Kentucky fan.
Y'all do
Sorry,
realize
Auburn fans.
you do realize that
backwards.
y'all did it backwards, right?
Well,
Well, it's because we did it the right way. If the cameras were back here,
The cameras are not back. You're doing it at the set.
Take control here, Jack. Take
is that
control.
right for that way?
Yeah, I'm looking on the monitor. Yeah, that's right.
I don't know my letters. I just write for a living.
I know Nick Chubb ran for 266 yards on them last year.
Glory.
High school
Yeah.
football.
Oh, this is a high school show.
Take control, Jack.
Hey, but the funny thing about some of these high school kids will go to those places.
Yes.
This
like
is true.
Juwan, and that's how that whole discussion started.
Exactly. All comes back around. All right, so let's wrap it up. Like we said earlier, our Friday night tailgate game of the week will be Columbus and Brookstone down at Rex Knight Field in Columbus.
Yep.
We'll be down there first stand, evening edition Chief Meteorologist Bob Jeswall, along with some of the other members of the News 3 team and our sponsors, BMW. Is it BMW or Mercedes?
This is Mercedes, but both just got a shout out, so congratulations.
Well, BMW sponsors the Sports Tech anyway.
We like cars in Columbus.
Yes, we do. But
I'll be at, and you will too, David, because we talked about this earlier,
Yeah.
but I'll be at Auburn for Central and Auburn.
yep, you guys will both be down in Auburn.
Follow us at
LE.
LE Prep
Sports at Dayne Young. You can follow. I've got double the fun this week. I'll be at Lee Scott for Lee Scott and Morgan Academy, and the big one, 2 top 10 teams in 6A, Ben Russell and Opelika at Bulldog Stadium.
Big O.
There you go.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
That crowd at Auburn Opelika last week, I think that may be the best crowd in our area. That may be the best rivalry game in our area, and that may be the best crowd in our area. That was a college atmosphere.
Let me stop you right there because you might be right, but I'm telling you, Cowboy Stadium Friday night for LaGrange Troop was a playoff atmosphere.
No. The Heritage Bowl. Oh, Carver and Spencer. Hey, it was a great crowd.
That's a good party. That's a good party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, good job, people.
So
We didn't plan that, by the way. That was
No.
kind of natural.
no, but all three of those games were insane atmosphere.
And you're going to have that this week, too. Central Auburn will be fantastic. Brookstone Columbus will be good. A lot of good games this week.
Yeah.
A lot of good games going forward. When Region gets here, especially 7A Alabama.
Oh gosh.
I mean, Smith Station has a Region game at home this week. And Smith Station, we don't know what they have. They could be great.
They could.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
You will find out very shortly. So, like these guys said, and I probably already showed it once, I'll show it again. Follow us on Twitter at Dayne Young, at LE Prep Sports, at J Patterson TV. Follow the WRBL Sports account. We'll tweet updates from all of our games this Friday night, and we'll be on the Prep Zone at 11:15, 10:15 Central after the night watch. That guy right there will have your scores and highlights throughout the Chattahoochee Valley. Anything
This
else?
lovely makeup covered face will be guiding you through all of your football glory. I'm done.
You're done?
Oh, I'm done.
I'm done too. So for David Mitchell, Dayne Young, I'm Jack Patterson. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of the PrepZone Football Preview. Have a fantastic day. Go out and enjoy the games, and we will see you back for week 3 of the PrepZone Football Preview.